Let's give a huge round of applause for them.
Bye. I still do that to this day. I can't stop doing it. It's my new way of saying goodbye to everyone. My assistant's like, please, not. Bye. So hi.
You're gonna have to do that when we say goodbye.
Yes, I will.
Wow, that finale, Drew. I mean, talk about ending on that note.
So we the story kind of really, the real story kind of crescendos, right, in these, and that's what was one of the things that was most fascinating to us, that you have this 10-year buildup of this company, and you know, this kind of the roller coaster is kind of clicking up the track, and then within a matter of literally days and just a couple of weeks in the fall of 2019, everything kind of came crashing down. So it was interesting. I thought it cut out. It was interesting, making these big time jumps and then doing an almost real-time story in the finale.
And Jared, just going back to you, like, what was important in playing Adam, given that he's also a real life, person still alive today, in your portrayal? My mics are going in.
First of all, so nice to see your faces here today, guys. It's a beautiful in person celebrating. God damn that COVID. And we all know it's coming back too. It misses us. It's right around the corner. In the screening, we snuck it in. It's great. I was here not too long ago for something else. How's Gucci? And that was really nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you much. Near for Dallas Buyers Club, but
Name drop.
thank you very much. Good, nice shoes. My goal is to just not answer any questions. Just whatever I want to. This was a really special project. The fact that it was so recent and relevant was intoxicating because we were buried in material. The story was still unfolding. There was always something new to learn, someone new to talk to every day. I worked with Adam, that knew Adam, or Rebecca. And these guys, I mean, just the genius of their writing was just a feast for an actor. I mean, every script that I got was just, it was Christmas morning for me. And I got to open these beautiful presents of dialogue and conflict and drama and dreams. Just a really, really special experience. I'd never had an experience like this. No matter how tired, after 6 months when you do a series like this, it's a rather long amount of time. And usually in films, I'm in them for like 15 minutes. Like this project, I've never said so much in my entire life, and I was just so thrilled to be there. Never left. The gratitude just really never left my heart. It was a beautiful thing. It really was. I'm not gonna cry.
Can you hear it at the back though? No.
Thank you.
Yep.
One strong no and a bunch of thumbs up. So I don't know what we'll do with that.
Who wins in a fight? Drew. Talk about the,
Crazy one.
Why it is, right? The one with the money wins. Going back to the beginning, why was it important for you to tell Adam's story?
Well, I think it was important. Sorry, guys. Yeah. I think it was important for us to actually tell Adam and Rebecca's story, and hopefully, as everyone's now seen the whole show, the sense I got when it came out and started streaming was that I think people were surprised that it was not quite the takedown story that they sort of thought it would be. And I think some people were actually almost a little frustrated by that. But something that my writing partner Lee and I, and Jared and Annie, when they signed on board, none of us had any interest in doing a sort of caricature or vilifying these people. So it really was more an exploration of these two flawed, fascinating people whose just very specific alchemy led to the creation of this $47 billion company, and also arguably to its partial collapse. And there's just a fascinating love story at its heart. And the other thing I'll say is that we also looked at it as a story larger than just a morality tale about Adam and Rebecca Newman. That the sort of the investors, some of the Silicon Valley culture that goes into some of these bubbles is something we wanted to examine.
Jared, it'd be criminal if I didn't talk to you about your transformation. Talk about working with Kazuhiro, who does prosthetics and makeup. He's won the Oscar twice for Bombshell and Darkest Hour, but talk about working with him and the conversations you had to become Adam.
He's an incredible artist. Actually, you know what? I don't know if I've really talked about this, but he did the nose for Paolo. Yeah.
Wow.
And it was a strange circumstance because we had so little time for Paolo Gucci, for House of Gucci. We had so little time to prepare. I thought I was going to have to drop out of the project. I actually went to Ridley and I said, we're not going to be able to do this. We don't have enough time. We had just gotten really lucky to get Göran, who's an incredible Swedish mastermind. But we needed help, and we just needed, a little assistant. And I called Kazu up, and we had been talking about, I think Warhol, is a project I've been developing for some time. But and he loves Warhol, and so we shared that. But he sent us a nose in the mail. The fucking nose showed up in the mail. Like FedEx. It wasn't even anything. It was like an envelope too. Like, what if somebody sat on that nose? It was crazy. Yeah, it was like, and of course, they all were so gracious with one another, and they understand, it's like it takes a village sometimes, even a small little tribe at that point. But so I wanted to work with Kazu for a long time, and we were plotting and planning, and then this came up, and initially we had a lot more. You always start with 4. And it's kind of the dream. You get a little greedy and you see how far can we push things. And these people just do such beautiful work. I mean, it's just absolutely magical. But we started with a lot, and then we figured out there's no other way that we can do this every day for 6 months. It's one thing if you can, 20 days of shooting or, 30 days of shooting. You can sit in that chair for 6 hours like we did with the Pelagucci, but with this we needed something that we could also transform and have it be efficient. So we pared back quite a bit. Unfortunately, they were shooting Annie first, so we had a couple of days extra. But all of that stuff, I love transformation. I love to work immersively. I love when other actors do that. I love, surprised and delighted by that ad infinitum. But if you don't capture the heart, the soul, the spirit of a character, it really it's a bunch of rubber,
One thing I'll add to that is that, as Jared said, it was kind of a real exploration process. But what I continue to be amazed by is it's both subtle and transformative, and that's such a sort of tricky balance to hit. That Kazu's work was so subtle here, yet it was an utter transformation. So I just thought it was just such beautiful artistry.
Does anybody have an idea what was going on? Some people think like, "What did you wear? Something? Was something going on?"
Jared Leto looks different.
I'm like, wow, you're really not very observant, but does anybody have an idea what was on my face and contacts. Yes, well, that's clear, right? That's true. You have the contacts, and then what else? Somebody said mouth. Teeth. What are you talking about, teeth? I've got great big white teeth, don't I? I live in Hollywood. Come on, we probably all have the same dentist. Let's be honest. No, I had teeth. I admit it. Damn it. What else? Anybody else? What? The size of my face was bigger. Wow. If it wasn't, now that would sit me. They're really weird. They finally found out I have a big head in more ways than one. Yeah, you don't want to like give away you don't want to really know what's in the sausage sometimes, but it's good to keep some secrets. But subtle is hard, and thankfully we had a great team, and we had a great team in New York, just warriors that really dug in. Where we were always trying to make it better, always trying to make it faster, always trying to make it more believable, and the wigs and all of it.
And by the way, I mean that. It's so interesting. I mean, there was the finding the look kind of creatively, which Jared and Kazoo spearheaded. But then, you have to. This is not a film, right? This is a TV show that he's the star of, and you're doing 7 pages a day sometimes. So there was then an entire part of the process where it was, okay, how do we shave off minutes from applying this piece? How do we shave minutes down from the hair? So it was really, the logistical battle was something that we were constantly tweaking.
And Drew, congratulations. This is your first TV series that you've written.
It is.
Usually you write feature films. What was this like for you?
Thank you.
Yes.
Actually, I don't even write feature films. I've been an executive for 16 years.
Don't judge. There's one of us now.
I've seen the error
That
of
will
my
protect
ways.
you.
So I had written one other TV project before, but yes, this was my first produced work.
Such a show off.
Had I known that.
Jared, you haven't done TV since what, 1990?
1834, basically. If you remember that show, we're all old. Yeah, but
I remember it.
In defense of real actors everywhere, I barely spoke. Let's be honest. But I loved it. Doing television. I mean, it feels like we need a new word for this kind of thing because it's not really television.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a better word for it, flat screen something, but it's its own thing, and I think that credit to everyone for elevating this and really setting a new standard for what's possible and the ability to tell stories over a longer period of time. I mean, I love it. We all love, we have so many things that we love out there so much. And as an actor, it's incredible because, you work so hard to build a character. A lot of times it's painful to say goodbye. And when you do something like this, you really get to explore all the different avenues and exhaust, all your creative desires. It's a beautiful thing.
Going back to what you said, how did you find Adam's heart and soul and who he was? What was your research process into what made him tick?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit of a maniac when it comes to the research, as you may have heard. But I love it. I love to, and then this one was a joy because there's so many articles, there's so many interviews, there's so much video, so much audio. There's the podcast, there's the book, there's the documentary, there's all of these things. And then I started talking to people that knew him and worked with him, and I think you find someone's heart and someone's soul by looking for that connective tissue. Those things that you relate to, that you can identify with. Like Adam, it's easy for me to identify with somebody who wants to create something special and share it with the world. You know, it's a basic fundamental thing I think a lot of people in this room probably relate to. You know, I think the story of an immigrant who came to this country and built a company from nothing into a $47 billion empire is pretty astounding. Of course, there's a lot of failure in there as well, but for me, there was a lot to connect with, and you know, I was certainly on board with not wanting to make this a takedown piece, and I didn't want to really have any part of a two-dimensional characterization of these two people. I mean, they're also, you know, they're there, 6 kids, they're married, they're alive, they're here now. It's not like a character who's, you know, been dead for 50 years, and I do think we have a responsibility to kind of, you know, do our due diligence to explore the humanity of people who may make some bad choices in life. So I was, and then I went and met him, actually. I had this top secret meeting with him that these guys didn't know about. Sorry, Drew. But I had to do it.
We all agreed we were not going to speak to the real Adam and Rebecca.
Yeah.
We all, right?
I wasn't in that meeting, by the way, but it was too tempting. I just had to do it. I had to look. I thought maybe I would regret it if I didn't, you know. And I thought there was more for me to gain as an artist, as an actor, than there was to lose. And I'm really glad that I did have that meeting. We had this like covert meeting. It was right before shooting. I'd done a lot of most of the research and the work already. But you know, I was hearing he's in the Hamptons, he's in New York, he's in Miami, he's in Portraying, he's there. So we kind of, you know, found a little opening, and I shot down to Miami, and I met him and Rebecca, and you know, for me at that point, I'd studied them so much, it was like, it was weird. You know, this standing right there, this guy, and I don't know if I've never played a part based on a real person who was still alive. So that was wild. And I have to say, you know, I liked him a lot. I had a list of questions, things I wanted clarity on. And it was a very productive, very fruitful meeting. But I didn't talk to him again during shooting. I didn't want that responsibility, and of course he was doing his best to seduce me, you know, there on that day of, you know, and be charming. But it was beneficial. And you know, the other thing I was saying earlier to Drew, we had this just blessing of this incredible crew during COVID, and we were in New York, and maybe some of you were there, like at that time where it was like you could still walk across Broadway during the day without looking both ways. You know, it was like kind of a dead zone a little bit. And vaccine starts rolling out, the weather starts changing, but we had this great crew, and everybody was inspired and worked so hard. And the cast of day players that came into New York, I mean, you saw a lot of them in the show, and they would come in. That's a hard thing to do, to come in when people are rocking and rolling already for a month or two, and you come in, you have your little part, and you're, you know, I've done that. I've made a career out of playing smaller parts, but these people come in and just fucking smoke us. It was incredible. Really beautiful thing.
Yes, let's give a shout out to the great Woo! Anne Hathaway's phenomenal in this too. Drew, talk about, you know, what it was like seeing her and Jared and this incredible cast bring your words to life. And Jared, what was it like for you to have Anne Hathaway as, like, you know, a partner to bounce off of?
You're leaving a moment too soon. I was just gonna talk about my skincare routine. And she's gone. She could have looked 2 weeks younger. What a shame.
Okay, I'm sorry. You said Anne.
And
Yes.
seeing her bring your words to life.
Yeah, I mean, where to begin? It's like,
It's a skincare routine.
no, I mean, truly, if either Jared or Annie had said yes, it would have made the project. And to have both of them sign on was just, it was truly a sort of a pinch yourself kind of moment. And, Annie was, for both of them, even, this was like a 5-month plus shooting process, not to mention the months and months of discussions and script discussions and character discussions that preceded it. I was continually just amazed about how absolutely all in both Anne and Jared were. It was just, from the minute that they agreed to do it, it was just, it was sort of like all consuming for all of us. And it was a really thrilling thing, just texts, calls, just constant communication as we kind of built this thing together.
Jared, what was it like having Anne Hathaway as
Let's start with a facial cleanser. I'm 50, guys. Give me a break. You didn't wash it? See? That's how you know I don't know shit. That's the thing. I skip up and I've been washing the face. Forget about that part.
Great tip.
Thank you. I'll do it next night. Annie is just, she's an absolute killer. She's a pro.
He means that in a bad way.
Yeah, she's just a force of nature. I remember watching Les Miserables.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I don't love musicals. Okay? It's not my thing. Right? What she did in that fucking movie, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, people can do that. Because I sing as well. I'm in a band. And
Yeah.
thank you very much. Okay,
Woo!
thank you. Yeah, we got some. That's big one. 2023, we'll be out there. No, when I saw what she did, I was like, people, how does she do all that and sing at the same time? Breaking, put her heart and just step on it with her own foot. It's just incredible. So I've always liked her. She handed me my Oscar for Dallas Buyers Club, which because that's.
Woo!
Okay. But this, you're always going to show up with a partner who's going to deliver. And I think we both had that feeling that there was something special here at play and that we had an opportunity to really test ourselves and to get in the ring with one another. And, just have this kind of creative exploration. We both embraced failure. We both embraced kind of pushing ourselves and each other to do our best work. And I think we both knew that we were there for one another. So it was a beautiful experience that we had working together for sure. I feel really, really lucky to have had her play that part.
How much improv was there on set, Drew?
A massive amount. and it was wild. It was really a blast. It was interesting. Jared was kind of the best of both worlds in that he would do it absolutely as scripted to the word, and there were page-and-a-half long monologues, as you see in the show. You probably know which ones those are, and would just do it to the word, to the letter of the script, and then would do some that were sort of these wild deviations, and he can speak to this. But what was really interesting is I could also see, and tell me if I'm wrong, Jared, it wasn't just part of his own process, the improv. It also seemed like he could sense if the other actor wasn't feeling as connected, and as he said, some of these day players or people who would come in to just do a scene or a day. And so he would use it to make the moment feel very alive and unpredictable, and it just always enlivened every kind of scene that we were shooting.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Okay, last question. Adam goes to work and plays Raw every morning. What's the song that gets you going? every day? Like, do you have that go-to pump me up song?
I think it changes. It's man. Why don't you go first?
The tiger. Come on, baby. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm from Philadelphia.
I was gonna say 9 Inch Nails Closer, but that'll be for some of the darker people in the room. But yeah,
I'm from Philly, so something from the Rocky soundtrack for sure.
Yeah.
Jared, what are you?
I just said 2. Of course.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jared.
Bye.